Hey yo guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? So tonight we got a warning that there's a snowstorm coming in. This morning's just pretty chilly out, and I didn't drive the truck all weekend because I didn't really do much all weekend. I just stayed home and chilled out and did my own thing. But because of that, this morning when I went to start the truck, yeah, the battery's showing age. The battery's 7 years old in the truck. I'm still running the factory battery in there. So I need to replace it probably sooner than later, especially because winter's coming, and probably shouldn't let the battery go. Now, like I said, tonight we're getting a wicked snowstorm. So there's two things I need to do right now. One of those things is I need to check to see what the heck I got in this Ford, because some of these Fords came with lead acid, some of them came with AGM, and I was not aware that this was a thing. The other thing I need to do is make sure my snow brush is actually in the truck, because it's already starting to snow right now. That wasn't supposed to start till midnight, and it's starting right now. That's freaking awesome. So I'm not sure if my snow brush is in here or not. This one is, my little one. I don't know where my big one is. Well, anyway, I got this door open. I'm gonna pop the hood. We're gonna have a look and see exactly what the heck we got for a battery under this truck. Now, I don't know if it's safe to, I kind of like the idea behind the AGMs. The fact that they are less, they don't have any issues with vibrations, and they respond better in the cold. Anyway, judging by the look of that, it's definitely not an AGM. I don't know if you can just stuff an AGM in here and replace the lead acid with just an AGM battery, but probably not. Probably not. Son of a bitch. I think they put the AGMs on the trucks with the stop-start technology. My truck doesn't have that because it's basic bottom bitch. Is the Snow Joe back here? Yes, it is. I just got it buried. All right, gotta make sure this thing's readily available, because we might need it tomorrow to clear off the window. And push that back. Perfect. So yeah, it looks like it's just a lead acid battery. That's gonna cost me about 200 bucks. Like, I might wait before I do that. Wait for this video to go live to make sure. Now, I know how to reset the battery management system. Apparently it's super easy. You turn the truck to the on position. It's so dumb. Turn the truck to the on position, flash the high beams 5 times, and tap the brakes 3 times. And apparently it resets the battery management system. Like here, I thought it was weird with Dodge, where you would turn the key on, off, on, off, on, off, and then it would flash your error code, so you didn't need an OBD2 reader. Flashing the high beams a bunch of times just to reset the battery management system. Crazy. You know what? I might just go to freaking Canadian Tire tonight and just get a lead acid. Because honestly, this winter, like, I got my tire repaired because I didn't want to deal with having to. Do I want to go to Canadian Tire right now? Traffic's gonna suck. I'll go a little later because traffic's gonna suck right now. Everybody's getting off work and they're all coming home. So yeah, we'll go later. But yeah, I've been having problems with that battery since 2021. Mainly because I never really drove the truck much during COVID, because where were you going to go, right? And COVID hit in the winter time, so the battery probably froze. It's literally acting like half a cell. Now, during the summer, it wasn't that big of a deal. It worked fine because it was warm out. But today being colder, it struggled to start, to the point where I got into the truck and my stereo system was reset. My onboard computer was reset. And that's usually because it's drawing way too much power to kick over, and that was off the starter. If I would have started it with the key, I guarantee you she would have just been a tick, 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 and I would have had to come in here, grab the booster pack, and boost the damn truck. Might as well just go get this over with. We'll just chuck a lead acid in it. I'm going to go to Canadian Tire, just get a Motormaster OE Plus. They're probably not the greatest batteries. I might get 3 years out of it, but these usually come with a 5-year warranty, so sweet. As far as recycling the old battery, they usually give you like 20 bucks for it. You can get that at the scrapyard too. So whatever. I might just wait until I smelt down all that aluminum into pure aluminum, and then bring it all in one big scrap haul and get some dineros, some monies. But yeah, I figured we got to get this done, and I don't feel like going right now because, like I said, it's going to be super busy. So we'll probably leave here in about an hour, go to Canadian Tire, pick that battery up, come back, install it in the dark, probably in a snowstorm. Should be fun. Alrighty guys, traffic should be cleared up by now, so we can go jump in the truck, head off to Canadian Tire, pick up a battery, come back and install it in the truck. So hopefully this winter we don't have problems like we did last winter. and the winter before, we can just easily get out there, start the truck, and go. It'd be nice. I was also almost tempted to go to Best Buy because these Black Friday sales have the, oh, we already got a little bit of snow on the ground. Not a lot, but a little bit of white back there. Not a lot, but no, they had the Google Pixel on for Black Friday right now at the Google Pixel 9 Pro. I don't want the XL, I just need the 9. But they had it on sale for $1,200, and I was thinking about grabbing it. System off to save battery. So watch what's gonna happen here. So I'm gonna put the key in the ignition, turn it on. See, it shouldn't be doing that. It shouldn't be doing that dimming thing either. And the car literally forgot all the settings on the dash. Display mode, there we go. All right, I'll put you guys in the harness. Let's drive over to Canadian Tire and get a battery. You see, last year what I did to get around this was I just every once in a while would hook the battery up to the charger and recharge the battery. But theoretically, you shouldn't have to do that. You should be able to drive for 15 minutes and recharge the battery enough where you can, start the car up an hour or 2 hours after you get home. But that's not the case with this battery. This battery here, I'm pretty sure one of the banks is blown. Like one of the battery banks, the cells, if you will, is blown. Now, I do have my Mastercraft toolkit on me, so worst case scenario, if I get to Canadian Tire, go to start it to bring the car home and it won't start, I can just swap out the battery right in the parking lot. It's not hard to change a battery in a vehicle. I've got a lot of experience with the old Trans Am. I remember when I had that dead battery in the Trans Am and I just kept pulling it out, recharging it, putting it in. It's fine. A week later, it was flat. Well, that's what happens when your lead acid battery shits the bed. But apparently to put an AGM battery in here, you need something called a BMS, a battery monitoring system or management system, so that it knows when the battery is charged to 85% and then trickle charge the rest. Without that, putting an AGM battery in a non-AGM equipped vehicle apparently can be pretty destructive. Like, it'll kill the battery because if it doesn't have that BMS system to control the charging rate. So apparently an AGM battery will charge super fast from 0 to 85, but then it needs to trickle the rest of the way up, where a lead acid will just charge at a normal rate all the time. Well, at least that's what I got from the Googling I did. So yeah, we'll just go and grab a lead acid battery for now, and just to get through the next couple of years. Like I said, we probably wouldn't have this problem if I actually drove the truck more than I do. Like, she only has 43,000 kilometers on it, soon to be 44,000, because in T-minus 4 days, I'll be driving down to Cambridge for a martial arts competition, Southern Camp. I don't even know what this is going to consist of. I don't even know what it's going to be like. I'm hoping this weather is not happening for that drive, because let me tell you, this is the whole reason why I was debating on going or not, was they're having it so close to winter that driving Highway 11, it's not too bad up north, but when you get to Barrie, if the weather's like this, that highway can become treacherous. 'Cause the one year when I was with my ex, anybody who watched Vlogging Life season 1 through 3 knows the ex I'm talking about. She was going to school in Guelph, and I went down to go pick her up and bring her back. So I went down for a Saturday and then came back Sunday. And when I went down to pick her up, the roads were bare. It was nice. Come this Saturday night, we go to bed, wake up Sunday morning, and it got dumped on down there. And I end up here. It was bad. The weather was horrible. It was just a brutal snowstorm. I couldn't do above 50 kilometers an hour on the highway without losing control and starting to fall off the road. Now, this is before my YouTube days, so that's why there's no video footage or anything of that, but this is in like 2006. We got doused pretty hardcore at the beginning of December. Now, I don't know if I don't think this is going to stick around. Like, we might have some snow tomorrow because we're supposed to get real heavy snowfall tonight from midnight till 5, and of course with the sun not being out and it being cold, it might stick around for a bit. So I don't see me needing the snow blow tomorrow before going to work or anything, but management was already like, anybody who has to come into the office tomorrow, just leave earlier so you're not racing, and drive safe, and make sure your winter tires are on, and all that other fun stuff. Yeah, what they could have said was, it's going to be the first day of snow, so maybe you should stay home, bring your computers home, and just work from home tomorrow and stay safe. And that would have been like really nice of them, but they want us to come into the office, so that's fine. That's fine. It's not like I don't do this. It's not like I haven't been doing this every freaking year, right? Driving in the winter ain't that big of a deal. You just go a little slower and you take your time and don't drive like an asshole and don't cut people off and hope other people are paying as much attention as you are to the road and nobody dies. Usually how it works. No, but this is something I meant to do for a while now. I was starting to think like the battery was working fine. It wasn't giving me any troubles. I had no issues all summer. Everything was hunky-dory. I was like, you know, I might be able to get away with one more winter with this shitty battery. But no, that's definitely not the case. The fact that this morning it did what the battery just did now, it's under cranking. There's a problem. We need to resolve it, and the resolution is pretty simple. We'll just go to Canadian Tire, buy an OE Plus battery. It's got like 700 cold crankings over top of the 610 that are currently in the stock battery, a higher capacity that's currently in the stock battery. A lot of people are like, make sure you buy the exact same capacity as you had before. You know what? I've ran so many batteries in vehicles that were over the capacity listed, and the only thing that happens is nothing. But I'm just not sure about that AGM technology because some people say it uses different charging algorithms. Some people say your vehicle needs to be equipped with something in order to handle it. Other people say you got to use the Foxconn to go into the ECU and say that you have an AGM battery over a lead acid. We're just going to play it safe, get a standard lead acid battery and call it a freaking day so we don't have to deal with bullshit and nonsense. Anyway, we're going to carry this thing pretty far, get a little bit of a workout in. Let's go grab a battery at mother flipping Canadian Tire. Wow, that was an experience. That was a rather not needed experience. First off, buying the battery. They make you go to the parts counter so you can get the right part. Buddy's asking me a bunch of questions. I get it, because he doesn't know what kind of vehicle I have, so I answer it. Then he's like, oh, there's two options. You can get an AGM battery or a lead acid. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I need the lead acid because I don't think I have a battery management system in it. And he's like, oh, and he goes, oh, it looks like this has to be installed in the shop. And I'm like, why? And he goes, oh, they got to do a system reset. And I'm like, yeah, that's just flash the high beams 5 times, pump the brake 3 times, and then it engages the reset system. And I'll show you guys that later on. So he's like, no, it looks like it needs to be hooked up with the computer. I'm like, just sell me a damn battery, bud. So I ended up getting a lead acid. I explained to him, like, holy shit, look at the snow on this car. Where are you coming from that you're already covering that much snow? Wow. Quebec, probably. Seeing how you just all of a sudden decide you want to turn left. Anyway, I know they were Ontario plates. So I finally get my battery, $300 later. We'll go home, we'll install that. But on my way walking out, I'm carrying this heavy battery by 2 of the most comfortable handles ever included on a battery ever. That is sarcasm. They were literally cutting through my freaking hands. So, frig sakes, I'm walking in the parking lot, and I see this lady walking to her car, and I realize that the front passenger side tire of her car is literally sitting on the rim, like it is flat. And I yell over, hey ma'am, and she just turns around and yells, don't you dare approach me, don't you dare approach me. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I just want to let you know. She said, didn't ask, don't even come over here, no closer, and just starts friggin' just chirping me. And I'm like, okay, never mind, have a nice night. And I just left. And I'm walking to my car and somebody runs up and he's like, dude, what the hell was that all about? And I'm like, well, I was gonna let her know her tire's flat, but she'll figure it out when she moves the vehicle, maybe. Like, I have a compressor in the truck. I could have easily have pumped up her tire for her to get her home because Canadian Tire removed the air compressors from the building. They used to have an air compressor there where you can get free air outside, but they went ahead and removed it. It was one of the only places in town where you could just walk up and get free air for your pedal bikes or your cars, and that's gone. Every gas station in town charges $1 just to turn the compressor on for what, 5 minutes? But yeah, no, that's, you know, and I see these posts on Facebook from my female friends saying, guys need to step up their game and approach women. Why aren't guys approaching women? Why aren't Why aren't guys making the first move anymore? Well, it's because of situations like what I just went through with this lady freaking out because I was trying to be helpful and let her know, like, ma'am, your tire's flat. I don't recommend driving on it. You're going to damage the rim, and that's going to cost you a lot more money in the end. No, instead, she just instantly thinks I'm a predator and I'm coming at her. I'm carrying like a friggin' 50-pound battery on two of the most comfortable handles that are ever created, and she thinks I'm like pred stalking. Meanwhile, I'm trying to be helpful. So when women wonder why men don't approach them anymore, it's because we're too afraid to approach you to have you freak out like you just did, or we're too afraid to approach you to be called a creep on your TikTok later on that night just for trying to say hi and getting to know you because we found you were interesting visually. We wanted to see if you'd be interesting mentally, because you know there's a lot of pretty women out there, but you get talking to them and holy shit, it's just not a good time. They have the intellect of a potato, and yeah, you know that literally it's not going anywhere beyond the sheets. And sorry, that's one thing I need a woman to have is a good brain to be able to carry on a conversation and not get upset when we go into a debate about something. And you know, and you can always tell the quality of somebody if you get into a debate about a topic and they start resorting to like personal attacks, like coming at you because of your clothes or because your hair is messy or whatever. The moment they start doing that, it's because they know they've lost and now they're spiteful. And you just want to distance yourself from those types of people because that's just no bueno. Toxic AF. But no, it's oh, Adam, how are you single? You're such a catch. Well, it's pretty simple because women are nuts and being singles, I found my peace. I found my peace. So now I shave a mohawk into my head to look kind of like a crazy guy so women stay the frig away from me because I really, really, really do not need another woman in my life like the ones I've had already, where they just take and take and take and don't reciprocate and act like I need to do everything they want. But when I want something, they make a big fuss out of it, lie about things to prevent me from doing it, and then get mad if I just see through the bullshit and do it anyway, to the point where they make me feel so damn guilty that I think like I'm in the wrong for wanting to do stuff. If women are wondering why they're not getting married like their parents did at a young age, maybe women should do themselves a favor and look in the frickin' mirror and realize the reason why you're not getting married like your parents did is because things have changed. Obviously, feminism has caused a lot of uproar. Feminist movement. And the last thing us men need is to be on some hashtag Me Too friggin' post because we thought you were interesting and decided to come up and talk to you and just got blasted. We don't need that in our lives. Stay single, keep the peace. Anyway, guys, almost home. We got this battery installed and hopefully we're good for a couple years. Battery has a 3-year warranty, so dope. Alrighty guys, battery removal is pretty simple. Unscrew. This is an H7, right? You know what, I don't even see anywhere on here where it says the dang battery size is, but we'll make it fit.
Pay attention.
So you unscrew that. That's your battery retainer. There's like a big plunger down there holding the C-sucker down. Positive terminal, your negative terminal. These are 10 mil bolts. That's an 8. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. I don't have my tripod out here. I really don't feel like going to grab it. So I'm just gonna get this done and I'll be with you in a moment. Yeah, you remember when I said I wasn't gonna go in the house and grab the tripod? Well, I went in there to get a light so I could see what the heck I'm doing out here. And I was like, you know what, might as well just grab the tripod and the camera light, which is what I ended up doing. So now I can film this process because why not? Just because I know how to change a battery doesn't mean everybody else does. So, all right, so basically on these, boom, loosen that off, loosens up the terminal, and that should just pop right out. That's somewhere to put this damn thing. Holy, she's on there good. All right, I'm worried about knocking stuff over. Mainly my phone because I don't really want to replace it yet. Holy shit, you're on there. Yeah, the way this works is when you tighten it down, this plate here pinches into the side, squeezes the terminal, but the fact that I'm loosening it doesn't really loosen it. There we go. So I'll put that there, uncover the positive terminal, and do the same on that side. And we'll put an 8-bit on. Did Ford break the handles off of the battery? Them sluts. If you're wondering why I'm using the power ratchet, because I own one, that's why I'm using it. All right, so let's tuck that out of the way. Grab an 8 mil. Honestly, these injected molded cases for these ratchet sets. Holy Hannah Montana. Whatever the hell that means. Talk about a pain in the arse to pull the bits out of some of them. Put it into the right slot. Okay, that's not going to reach. So this is where we modify our strat. We use the old extension bit to make it reach. So the whole reason why I'm using the power ratchet is it's way easier than going. That's a pretty accurate sound effect right there for you. And literally, this is the doohickey that keeps the battery installed. Now, Ford was kind enough to break the handles off, making this job a little bit annoying, but we were able to do it, so that's cool. Now, do I really care about this condom wrapper thing? Probably. All right, got the stupid condom wrapper out. The little diaper for the battery. I'll grab the new battery out of the truck. Hopefully it's the same dimensions. Feels like the same dimensions. Cool, the new battery is actually bigger. Go Canadian Tire. Let's just see if it fits. I'm not gonna use the stupid condom. Yeah, it fits. You know what? If it fits, it sits. Where the hell's my power ratchet? We'll just crank that sea sucker back on. All right, that's in there. You ain't going nowheres, bud. So I'd just like to point out that Google lied. No surprise there. When I asked it what battery size I needed, it came back and said an H8 or H7. Turns out it's an H6. Don't really care because it's fitting. So good enough for me. All right, let's not become a TikTok here and leave these things on. I installed my own battery, but it's not working. Oh yeah, the core fee on the old battery. They make sure to let you know, right? I just don't feel like going back there. If I had some dilithium grease, I put it on the terminals just to prevent corrosion, but I don't. So I really don't think there's a proper way to hook these things back up. I think you just slam them back on the terminal like that. Any mechanics out there, you have a proper way to hook them back up. Good for you. All right, torque to spec. Don't ask me what the spec is, but that's it. We should be good for the winter now. No more nonsense, no more bullshit. We have a battery installed. We are good to go. Gonna put my tools away like a good boy should. But it's definitely not the right size battery, but it's a battery. So, and it's in there. And it has more capacity than the OEM, which makes me happy. So let's close this. No sparking, no shocky monkey. We're good. And once again, the Trans Am is making a great workbench. I always got to appreciate the Firebird workbench. This is the kit that I bought a long time ago. I leave it in the truck because you never know when you'll need a ratchet set in the truck. Might as well put that back in there now. And then we can go do our battery reset. And I'll show you how stupid that is. Need the keys. Come in here. Probably don't need this light on. Oh man, I just washed these pants. Problem is I don't know where my other pants are. So what you do is you put your key in, turn to the on position. So there's an orange light down there. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Wait for it. And that is it. Those 3 flashes, literally all I did was 5 high beam hits, 3 brake pumps, and we're golden. So now we can turn the car off, turn the car on, and it starts like a champ. And apparently my passenger door is ajar. Cool, very cool. Well, let's just say I'm glad that's over with, because these past couple of years since 2021 have been really annoying in the winter with not having a vehicle, or having to every once in a while plug in the vehicle to the charger just to get a week's worth of reliable morning starts. We'll see how this holds out. Hopefully this does the fix and I never have to do that again for a while. But you never know, because they put so many computers and subsystems and other systems in these cars nowadays that they're more of a computer than they are engine, and they sap so much power just sitting in the driveway than the older cars used to do. So we'll monitor it. Anywho, guys, thanks for coming along for the battery swap of the century. Probably not, but whatever. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. If you're a lady in the audience and you're offended by what I said, I'd apologize, but like, seriously, you don't need to freak out when a guy just says, hey ma'am, have some common sense. And until next time, guys, live it to win it. Peace and forget it. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.